I greet my viewers with another liberal message from such an outstanding politologist like Merman Akmanji. Unfortunately, I don't have many sponsors who would inspire me, to in-depth analysis of political situations, and a few people only write to me. But I'll try to interview ACLU director Anthony Romero, as I definitely support his position that there is no more excuses for any delays in prosecution of CIA agents who broke the law and committed a felony by administering torture and waterboarding to Muslims war suspects in Guantanamo and other jails. They're supposed to be run only by federal prosecutors and FBI agents, but not for CIA spy agents. You are not supposed to participate in any interrogation whatsoever, of prisoners especially. It's only the privilege or prerogative of federal prosecutors and their detectives, to make all the investigations. I also believe that recent news from antiwar.com and Yahoo about President Obama trying to do cover-up for CIA agents who committed torture and waterboarding of Muslim suspects. That's actually very bad news for civil rights movement. And I believe that President Obama should reconsider his decision to shield CIA offenders from federal prosecution and lawsuits. He has no right to cover up those criminals, those offenders who committed hate crimes, or who didn't obtain any intelligence, just satisfied their sadistic streak. I believe that's the only thing they've done so far for gathering intelligence. They didn't gather any intelligence whatsoever, because if they tortured anybody, that person would just go crazy and would make up lots of fanciful stories. And I believe that U.S. Attorney General should reconsider his position of shielding imperialist CIA agents who committed a felony by torturing Muslim war suspects out of hatred. Because I believe that Eric Holder and Barack Obama are both lawyers, they're Democrats, and they might be ashamed of this imperialist politics of cover up crimes against humanity, against American laws, as torture is mayhem, as is a hate crime, and there would be no intelligence gathered whatsoever. We will receive only cover up lies and fanciful fables from demented torture suspects. And I believe that in terms of gathering intelligence, CIA lost American prestige, and if President Barack Obama keeps covering up CIA offenders who committed torture as a felony, then OPEC will cut down oil production of raw oil, and prices of gasoline will go up in United States, and American public will be the loser, because if Democratic President Obama decided to side with the torturers and murders of innocent people, which is human rights violation, I believe that President Obama disgraced himself as he tried to cover up transgressions of those neo-fascists, vile offenders who shouldn't be never working for CIA in the first place, and who should be in jail as felons. I believe that they must be prosecuted by federal attorneys, and Americans will lose their honor if they don't prosecute CIA offenders who tortured innocent people. Even I was tortured by a racist cop, probably hated immigrants who tightened the handcuffs on my wrists. I also believe that justice will prevail and civil rights movements will win. I also believe that Los Angeles County Sheriff Department should stop its illegal practice of segregating prisoners on basis of color of their skin or their race, and which is a federal offense. And I believe that U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder should uphold legal justice, federal law, by prosecuting federal offenders. But I believe that most of American lawyers and attorneys are firm federalists who will uphold federal law and legal justice, and will condemn neo-fascism, torture, racism, sexism, and ageism. And those people who commit federal offenses, who conspire against America, will be prosecuted by federal attorneys, will spend their lives in jail, and federal agents will chase them around the world to deliver arrest warrants signed by federal judges. And me myself will participate in federal prosecution as well. And I believe that if American people, if the U.S. Congress appoints me as an independent counsel, independent prosecutor, solicitor general for the United States, I will serve the duty and will indict and prosecute all the federal offenders who engage in criminal conspiracy, torture, murder, Al-Qaeda-style conspiracies, to commit terrorist acts, criminal conspiracies, to commit assassinations, murders, and extortion, racketeering. I believe that racketeering is against the law, and also believe that maybe with some attorneys or lawyers I will find in Southern California, because I've been looking for a decent attorney and couldn't find one. And I want to sue Los Angeles County Sheriff Department for violating civil rights of jail inmates and couldn't find a lawyer. Some lawyers, even California lawyers, demanded $6,000 worth of service, no matter if I win or lose a case. But I believe that, first of all, we cannot demand money up front, because we are not experts on civil rights for status. And second, if we lose the case, the plaintiff will lose a great deal of money, And I believe that hopefully I find some civil rights attorneys that will help me sue Los Angeles County Sheriff Department and ex-President George Bush, as well for violating civil rights of Americans, for criminal negligence during our bombardments, for illegal usurpation of presidential power during November 2000 elections, when actually popular vote was lost by corrupt Republican villain ex-President George Bush. And I believe justice will prevail, and torture bodies and torturers who committed was heinous felonies will be brought to justice by federal courts and will sued in court by their former victims. I believe justice will prevail. And I call for American public to go on demonstration, to go to peace demonstration, in order to make the justice being served to federal offenders, and so save American public from increases in gasoline prices. Otherwise, gasoline prices will go up considerably. American people will be ripped off. Okay, I hope I'll get more responses this time from a progressive American